Hello everyone, very warm welcome to Regulatory Bodies YouTube channel by Testbook. My name is Madhav Sir. I welcome you all in the very important session, and I would say your favorite session, where we are going to cover the finance current affairs. As you all know, in the finance current affairs, we not only cover the general finance related news, but we also cover the circulars, the notices, as well as the press release of RBI specifically, and even we cover the important announcements, important notifications of the other regulatory bodies like SEBI, as well as PFRDA and IRDAI. So if you want to crack your upcoming regulatory bodies exam, trust me guys, this is a must watch session. This is a session on which you can rely for your finance current affairs, because I don't only discuss the news, I try to decode that news, I try to connect that news in a static manner so that the news is absolutely clear to you. उम्मीद करता हूं जो लोग रोज इस सेशन को अटेंड करते हैं, they must be okay with this particular statement that yes, if they watch this particular session, there's no need to revise the same after watching the session, because एक एक चीज को बहुत बारीकी से बहुत डिटेल में जाकर यहां समझाया जाता। अब क्वेश्चन ये आता है कि सर अगर इस पर्टिकुलर सेशन की मैं बात करूं तो इस पर्टिकुलर सेशन की जो पीडीएफ है वो मेरे टेलीग्राम चैनल पर मिल जाएगी। आप इस टेलीग्राम चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए और यहां पर आपको हर सेशन की जो पीडीएफ है दैट विल बी अवेलेबल। ठीक है जी, तो आइए जरा बिना किसी देरी के आज के सेशन की शुरुआत करते हैं। एंड एज वी ऑलवेज डू, फर्स्ट विल रिवाइज द क्वेश्चंस रिलेटेड टू द प्रीवियस डे और द प्रीवियस सेशन न्यूज। तो जिन लोगों को पिछला सेशन थोड़ा मुश्किल लगा था, जैसे कि आई हैड अ कमेंट, epic is saying that the last session was quite difficult. Don't worry, after this revision it will be more clear to you. So good evening Karuna, good evening Arun, Abhinav, Poonam, San, good evening everyone. So I hope we are good to go. Let's get started. Okay, लेकिन इस क्लास को स्टार्ट करने से पहले एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट इंफॉर्मेशन जो आप हर जगह सुन भी रहे हैं। As you all know that we are in a tough situation right now and many things are going here and there. उस situation में you must be losing the motivation, you must be losing the direction of preparation. So I would request you, please, जैसा भी है, जो भी समय है, उस समय तो समय के साथ ही चेंज होगा, लेकिन उस समय को सही तरीके से यूटिलाइज करना काफी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है। अगर मैं आपको अपना बताऊं तो आई एम ऑल्सो राइट नाउ इन पंजाब, आई एम जस्ट 200 किलोमीटर्स अवे फ्रॉम द बॉर्डर्स, बट स्टिल आई एम टेकिंग द क्लास, आई एम गिविंग माई 100% एफर्ट्स so that I can give you something which can help you to clear this examination. So I want the same motivation, I want the same determination from your side so that we can clear the exam. अब आपके दिमाग में बहुत सारी चीजें चल रही हैं, क्या सर नोटिफिकेशन डिले होगा, क्या सर इस बार नोटिफिकेशन नहीं आएगा? ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है। अभी जो सिचुएशन है उसको देखते हुए हम ये कह सकते हैं कि नोटिफिकेशन तो पक्का आएगा ही आएगा। हो सकता है कि डिले हो अगर ये डिस्टर्बेंसेस थोड़े और लंबे समय तक चली, जिसकी उम्मीद कम है। और आई वुड से वी ऑल प्रे दैट थिंग्स शुड बी बैक टू नॉर्मल सो दैट वी कैन प्रिपेयर, वी कैन मूव इन द राइट डायरेक्शन। कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है जी। जिसकी आज फर्स्ट क्लास भी है तो अब मैं उनको बता दूं कि कुछ और कहीं और से कवर करने की जरूरत नहीं है। द एंटायर आरबीआई वेबसाइट विल बी कवर्ड ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर सेशन इटसेल्फ। कुछ समय दीजिए नेहा, द मोमेंट आई डिस्कस द क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम द प्रीवियस सेशन, आपको पता चलेगा कि लास्ट सेशन में जो मैंने मास्टर डायरेक्शन डिस्कस की वो कितनी डिटेल में जाकर डिस्कस की, और उससे जो क्वेश्चंस बने क्या वो क्वेश्चंस आपके एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से वर्दी है या नहीं। लेकिन इस क्लास को स्टार्ट करने से पहले एक रिक्वेस्ट जरूर करूंगा, for your efforts, for my efforts, because we both are live in this tough time just to chase our goal, that is RBI Grade B. We must give a like to ourselves. So do hit the like button, do share the session so that everyone is aware कि बिना सोचे, बिना समझे, बिना चीजों में अपना समय वेस्ट किए आप फोकस करो अपनी प्रिपरेशन पे। That will be better, that will be more productive for you, that will be more productive for you. ठीक है जी, तो आइए जरा बिना किसी देरी के आज के इस सेशन की शुरुआत करते हैं। तो आज के इस सेशन का जो पहला होमवर्क क्वेश्चन है वो ये रहा आपकी स्क्रीन पर। एज आई ऑलवेज से, आई विल गिव यू 20 सेकंड्स, you go through with the question, choose the correct answer, and then I'll read the same question for you and I'll be giving you the answers as well. ठीक है जी, आइए जरा let's get started. Here we go with the first question. Consider the following statement regarding the RBI's half yearly report. सो आरबीआई के हाफ ईयरली रिपोर्ट से रिलेटेड ये क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है, जहां पे बात की गई है किस पे, फॉरेन एक्सचेंज रिजर्व्स। तो आपको याद होगा कि लास्ट क्लास में वी डिस्कस्ड अ रिपोर्ट विच इज अ हाफ ईयरली रिपोर्ट पब्लिश्ड बाय आरबीआई। इट इज रिलेटेड टू दी फॉरेन एक्सचेंज रिजर्व्स। ठीक है जी। अब इसके सारे के सारे ऑप्शंस को पढ़ते हैं। आई वांट यू टू एक्टिवली पार्टिसिपेट एंड गिव मी द आंसर। आई टेक ऑल योर डाउट्स इन द एंड, डोंट वरी गाइस। नेहा, Pradanya, Vaishnavi, I will be taking your doubts. Don't worry. थोड़ा time दो, let me solve the question. Reserve Bank of India publishes half-yearly report on foreign exchange reserves to enhance transparency and disclosure. That is absolutely correct. These reports are released in reference to the position at the end of every calendar year and mid-year. क्या ये सही है? जून एंड दिसंबर? नहीं सर, दिस इज रॉन्ग। जो रिपोर्ट्स हैं वो रिपोर्ट्स दी जाती है फॉर मार्च 2025, यानी कि 1 अक्टूबर से लेकर 31 मार्च तक की 6 महीने की रिपोर्ट दी जाती है, जो कि जनरली अप्रैल या मई में प्रेजेंट होती है। एंड द सेकंड रिपोर्ट इज फ्रॉम 1st of April to 30th of September, which is generally published in the month of October or November. ठीक है। अब उसके बेसिस पर सेकंड स्टेटमेंट इनकरेक्ट हो गई। इस बार की जो रिपोर्ट है, दिस इज द 44th रिपोर्ट, दैट इज करेक्ट। एंड दिस is the report which is presenting the end edition or the end position of March 2025. That is absolutely correct. तो इसका मतलब जो 45th report होगी, that will give you the end position, or that will give you the position as at the end of September 2025. RBI started releasing this report since 2004. That is absolutely correct. As per the 44th report, reserve fell from $705 billion. ये बिल्कुल ठीक है सर। $705 billion था हमारा रिजर्व in September 2024. Then it fell down to $630 billion in January 2025, and again it has increased to $668 billion by March 2025. तो उसके आधार पर हमारी जो फिफ्थ स्टेटमेंट है वो भी क्या हो गई, गलत हो गई। तो उसके बेसिस पर जो आंसर बनेगा वो क्या बनेगा सर? दैट इज ए ऑप्शन 1, 3 and 4 is the correct answer. अब आपको समझ आ रहा होगा कि जो लास्ट रिपोर्ट हमने डिस्कस की, वहां से एग्जामिनर जब क्वेश्चन फ्रेम करेगा तो किस तरह के क्वेश्चंस फ्रेम करेगा। आई एम प्रीटी श्योर इट इज क्लियर टू यू एंड यू आर गोइंग टू एंजॉय द डिस्कशन. I'll give you a glimpse which we have covered in the previous session. For those who were not present, उनके लिए है कि the way I have covered this news. As you can see, I have highlighted 44th, I have highlighted end of March, even I have highlighted February 2024. So the question was from this slide itself, and from one slide you were able to answer the question. अगला question. Moving on to the next point. जो नेक्स्ट था दैट इज सितंबर 2024 में आर रिजर्व्स वर $708 billion. इट फेल डाउन to $630 billion in January, लेकिन फिर मार्च में आते आते they have improved and they have increased to $668 billion. Moving on to the next question. Next question, same report से है, but from that particular report, I am specifically discussing or I am specifically focusing on foreign exchange reserve status. What is the foreign exchange reserve status? And I am focusing on international investment position. If you remember, net international investment position हमने last class में discuss की थी, जिसमें मैंने आपको बताया था net international investment position is equals to the value of assets owned by Indians, or I would say value of foreign assets owned by Indians minus the value of Indian assets owned by foreigners. So it is negative. Negative का मतलब क्या? Our liabilities are more than our assets. So on that particular basis, this question has been framed. Go through with the options. Options क्या है? On a balance of payment basis, we are excluding the valuation effect. I hope you understand. Valuation effect is related to what? You have gold in your reserves and the value of gold increases over the period of time, then overall value of the reserve increase. So that is valuation. If you exclude valuation, India's Forex reserves decreased by $13.8 billion in April to December 2024. That is absolutely correct. But sir, if you include the valuation of Forex reserves was $3.1 billion, और इस वैल्यूएशन को अगर मैं इंक्लूड करूं, सो द नेट डिक्रीज इन द वैल्यू ऑफ फॉरेक्स रिजर्व इज $10.7 billion. आई होप समझ आया होगा. वैल्यूएशन का मतलब समझ के देखो यार, वैल्यूएशन का मतलब क्या? लेट्स सपोज मैं कहूं कि आपके पास एक असेट है, दैट इज गोल्ड. ठीक है, ये आपके रिजर्व्स हैं, दीज आर योर सेविंग्स, दीज आर योर रिजर्व्स। और आज आपके जो गोल्ड की टोटल वैल्यू है दैट इज लेट्स से 100 करोड़, लेट्स से 100 करोड़। उस 100 करोड़ में से आपने 10 करोड़ रुपए यूज किए, आपने 10 करोड़ रुपए यूज किए इन ऑर्डर टू मेक योर एक्सपेंसेस। बट ये जो 100 करोड़ में से 10 करोड़ का गोल्ड यूज किया दैट इज फाइन, बट द 90 करोड़ गोल्ड वैल्यू हैज इंक्रीज बिकॉज द प्राइस ऑफ गोल्ड हैज इंक्रीज, एंड द प्राइस ऑफ गोल्ड हैज इंक्रीज, जिसकी वजह से आपकी जो वैल्यू ऑफ गोल्ड है इट हैज इंक्रीज फ्रॉम 90 टू 95 करोड़। तो व्हाट यू विल से, what is the net decrease in your asset value? So net decrease in your asset value is not 10 crores, the net decrease is 5 crores. Similarly, the net decrease is not $13.8 billion in valuation method, it is $10.7 billion. I hope it is clear. In normal terms, that means if you are including the valuation effect, reserves decreased by $44 billion in April to December 2024. क्या अप्रैल से दिसंबर 2024 के बीच आपके जो रिजर्व्स हैं वो डिक्रीज हुए? सर बिल्कुल डिक्रीज हुए, लेकिन क्या वो डिक्रीज हुए बाय $44 बिलियन? नो सर, दे हैव नॉट डिक्रीज बाय $44 बिलियन. दिस इज अ रॉन्ग स्टेटमेंट. आई होप आई एम करेक्ट. India's IIP, that is International Investment Position, reflects the stock of country's external financial asset, means value of or the stock of financial assets owned by Indians in foreign countries minus the value of assets or Indian assets owned by foreigners in India, which is our liability. So that is correct. Between end December 2023 and end December 2024, the external assets grew more than external liabilities. जो आपकी external assets हैं, they have grown more than the external liabilities. Okay. Foreign exchange reserves increased by $32.9 billion during December 2023 on the balance of payment basis, excluding the valuation effect. That is correct. So first, third and fifth are correct, but I'm doubtful about the fourth. Why I'm doubtful about the fourth? कि external assets बढ़ी है या liabilities बढ़ी है? If you check the data, external assets have increased. So answer to this particular question is going to be D option. 1, 3, 4, 5 are correct, but the second option is incorrect. ठीक है, इसका भी डेटा है मेरे पास. I'll show that data in some time. Moving on to the next news. Consider the following statement regarding the India's foreign exchange reserves and gold holdings. उसके ऊपर ये क्वेश्चन है. Activating the timer, go for it. The Reserve Bank's net forward asset payable stood at $84 billion, जिसको मैंने आपको बताया था short position. Short position means RBI is selling more in comparison to buying. If RBI is selling more and buying less, then there will be a short position, and it is $84.345 billion. That is true. Foreign exchange reserves import cover fell from 11.8 months to 10.5 months. This is true. मतलब कि जो आपके पास forex reserves हैं, they are capable to support your import bills for how many months? Sir, earlier they were 11.8 months supportable, but now they can support only 10.5 months. That is also true. The ratio of volatile capital flows to reserves declined from. ये जो ratio of volatile capital flow है, it has declined? No sir, it has increased. This is opposite. It has increased from 67.8 to 74.3%. So third statement is wrong. Out of 879 metric tons of gold, इसका मतलब इंडिया के पास जो total volume या total weight of gold है, that is 87.59 metric tons held by RBI at the end of March 2025, जिसमें से 500 metric ton के आसपास domestically holded है, rest is with BIS as well as Bank of England. That is also correct. The value of share of gold in the Forex reserve has increased from 9.32 to 11.70%. That is also true. So keeping that in mind, I'll again go with the D option. That is I'll go with the B option. First, second, fourth, fifth. Third statement is wrong. So I'll go with B option. Abhinav, Epic have given the correct answer. What about others, guys? Buckle up. Do give me the answers for this particular question. As you can see, ये $44 बिलियन का इंक्रीज था, डिक्रीज नहीं था इन द प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन. इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द एक्सटर्नल एसेट्स, सर इंडिया की जो एक्सटर्नल एसेट्स हैं they have increased by $79.7 billion in comparison to liabilities. So assets has increased more than the liabilities. Is it clear? Moving on to the next question. I guess this has been done. So the answer is B option. B option में आपका जो shortfall है, that is short position है, that is $84.35 billion. If I talk about the capacity, that is 10.5 months, बिल्कुल clearly given है. 879.59 metric tons इंडिया का गोल्ड है, जिसमें लगभग 511 metric ton गोल्ड इंडिया के पास है, और ये जो रेशियो है, it has increased from 9.32 to 11.07%. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? इसका मतलब ये है, if we have total forex reserves of 100 rupees, out of $100, I would say, forex reserve 11.70% is in the form of gold. Rest is in the form of foreign currency asset, and we know that foreign currency asset is the highest. Foreign currency asset is the highest or covers the highest part of the total forex reserves. और foreign currency asset में भी जो highest reserves hai, that is in the form of securities. I hope these 2 points are clear. They are really very important. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following statement regarding the Indian foreign currency assets, FCA, IMF arrangements, as well as currency swap agreements. You are going to enjoy this. Read the question with me. At the end of March 2025, India's foreign currency assets stood at $617 billion with the majority held in securities. See, this is the value. $617 billion, but ये majority is held in security. इतने तक तो सही है, but let's suppose कि मैं examination में, I'm giving you the examination field. Let's suppose I am in examination, I don't remember the data. I'll come up with a pinch of doubt. During the half year under the review, RBI conducted 4 purchase transactions of $284.86 billion under the IMF financial transaction plans. If you remember, I told you India has borrowed only one, purchase was only one, but sale was 4. That means return of the loan was 4 times. So on that particular basis, अगर आपको ये value नहीं भी याद, then also you must remember कि इंडिया ने जो लोन लिया वो एक ही बार लिया और बड़ा लिया, लेकिन जो रिटर्न किया that was done in 4 installments. So second statement is incorrect. RBI's current subscription under IMF's new agreement to borrow stands nil, although the commitment is बिल्कुल सही है सर. Commitment कितनी थी? 8.88 billion SDRs, but current status क्या है? IMF has not borrowed extra loan from India because they have not 100% consumed their pooled amount. जिन्होंने कल वाला क्लास अटेंड किया तो उन्हें समझ आ रहा होगा. Third statement is correct. Under the SAARC swap agreement, both Bhutan and Maldives availed the swap facility. This is true. Maldives drawing $400 million for 6 months, that is true, but Bhutan has drawn 15 billion rupees for 6 months. So fourth statement is also correct. Now moving on to the next point, RBI has fully utilized its $5 billion investment limit. Point is, RBI is liable or RBI is capable to invest up to $5 billion in India Infrastructure Finance Company Limited, which is in UK, but it has not utilized its entire value. We have invested in millions, not even in billions. So fifth statement is incorrect. अब यहाँ से fifth statement में भी मुझे कोई डेटा याद नहीं रखना पड़ा. Still I was able to recognize क्योंकि मुझे इतना याद था कि RBI has not utilized the full limit. So fifth statement is incorrect. Second is incorrect. Now the question is third and fourth are correct. If third and fourth are correct और सेकंड एंड फिफ्थ आर इनकरेक्ट, तो सेकंड इनकरेक्ट है, ये गलत हो गया ऑप्शन, ये ऑप्शन गलत हो गया, ऑल ऑफ द 5 हो नहीं सकता. देन व्हाट आई एम लेफ्ट विद? सर सेकंड एंड फिफ्थ ऑप्शन इज आल्सो इनकरेक्ट, देन आई कैन गो विद बी इवन इफ आई डोंट रिमेंबर द एग्जैक्ट डेटा for the first option. With the help of this elimination method, I can go with the answer, and the answer is B option. मजा आया? मजा आया? Do you feel कि अगर एग्जामिनेशन में ऐसा क्वेश्चन आए, देखते मत छोड़ना. Don't leave the question by just seeing the numbers on the screen कि I will not be able to solve. You may be able to solve with the help of this option elimination technique, which I will be teaching you over the period of time. ठीक है जी. So इंडिया का जो टोटल फॉरेन करेंसी assets है, they are $617 billion end of September and $567 billion March 2025. यहाँ पे कुछ गलती तो नहीं है. फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट में guys, the first statement is wrong. This should be end of September 2024. I was thinking the same when I was reading the question. अब ये आंसर ठीक है, B option, लेकिन that should be end of September 2025. Majority is in the form of securities. That is also true. उसके बाद अगर हम बात करें IMF की, तो India has come up with one purchase, that is borrowing is one, and repurchase, that is sale or return of loan, is done in 4 times. Here we have NAB, that is new arrangement to borrow. New arrangement to borrow, we have 8.8 billion SDR limit, but till now the subscription is nil. That is true. And lastly, 5 billion rupees for Bhutan and $400 million currency swap agreement for Maldives. These are correct. I hope you all remember the SAARC nations. So SAARC nations include what? So SAARC nations include MBBS pain. MBBS करने में पेन होता है, तो MBBS पेन से याद रखिएगा, M for Maldives, B for Bhutan, B for Bangladesh, S for Sri Lanka, P for Pakistan, A for Afghanistan, I for India, and N for Nepal. Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Maldives. Remember this. Comment section में मुझे बताइए, where is the headquarter? Where is the headquarter of SAARC? Where is the headquarter of SAARC? Enjoyed guys? मजा आया? चीजें एक बार दोबारा से रिवाइज हुई. अब अगर एक बार इस क्लास के खत्म होने के बाद, when I will be sharing the PDF before going to bed today, at least cover the revision section, at least read once the revision section. I assure you, एक बार आज रिवाइज कर लेना, फिर जब मैं वीकली सेशन लूंगा उसमें रिवाइज कर लेना, फिर जब मैं मंथली सेशन लूंगा उसमें रिवाइज कर लेना. अगर 3 बार रिवाइज कर लिया, you are never ever going to forget it. Is it clear? समझ आ गया? क्लियर है? आगे बढ़े. आई होप यू ऑल आर रेडी. लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड विद द सेशन टुडे. पहली 2 न्यूज आई हैव अ वेरी, आई वुड से, हल्की न्यूज है जो कि फेज 1 में डायरेक्टली पूछे जाने के चांसेस हैं. सो फर्स्ट आई विल स्टार्ट विद द हल्की न्यूज एंड देन आई विल गो टू द हेवी न्यूज एट द एंड. डू नॉट फॉरगेट टू हिट द लाइक बटन इफ यू हैवंट लाइक द सेशन येट. पहली न्यूज आई हैव कम अप विद द फॉर्म ऑफ अ क्वेश्चन. कल एक स्टूडेंट ने 1-on-1 मेंटरशिप सेशन जो कि हम प्रोवाइड करते हैं अपने कोर्सेज में, वहां पे पूछा कि सर ये जो आप क्वेश्चंस फ्रेम करके लाते हैं इन द फॉर्म ऑफ स्टेटमेंट्स, इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू अटेम्प्ट इन 20 seconds. सी, फर्स्ट थिंग इज दी स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस, द प्रोबेबिलिटी दैट द स्टेटमेंट बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस इन द फेज 1 will be asked, they will be asked, but the number will be pretty less. लेकिन फेज 1 में जनरल अवेयरनेस को अगर सॉल्व करना, यू हैव टू सॉल्व ईच क्वेश्चन इन 20 seconds. सो आई एम जस्ट बूस्टिंग अप, आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू क्रिएट दैट प्रेशर ऑन यू. माय फर्स्ट इंटेंशन. सेकंड इज these statement based questions, they are more relevant for your phase 2 examination, और उसी को relevance रखते हुए I am covering them as well. Who has been temporarily appointed as India's nominee director on the IMF board in 2025? Let's check out the news. So P. Iyer, an executive director at World Bank. तो P. Iyer जो है वो executive director है World Bank के. He has been appointed as India's nominee director. तो India's nominee director means India is a member of IMF, and this nominee director is not only, or I would say the director is not only representing India, it also represents other nations along with India, which I will be discussing with you, don't worry. So the new appointment has been done, or I would say an additional charge has been given to the current executive director at World Bank, has been nominated as the director of IMF, nominated by India. The vacancy occurred when KV Subramanian term as IMF executive or as IMF executive director was terminated 6 months early. So his term was terminated 6 months early. तो जल्दी में किसी नए को अपॉइंट करना पड़ा. अगर नई नॉमिनेशन नहीं करते, if the new nomination is not done, then in that particular case the alternate executive director would have come from Sri Lanka. ठीक है जी. IMF executive board on 9th of May 2025 will discuss the critical issues regarding $1.3 billion loan under the climate resilience program and the first review of $7 billion bailout package for Pakistan, but unfortunately IMF has granted the $1 billion bailout package for Pakistan. Guys, note down this. What do you mean by the word bailout? You have to give me the answer in the कमेंट सेक्शन वंस द क्लास इज ओवर चेक करना, गूगल करना, 2 4 5 जगह से पढ़ना, बताना मुझे व्हाट इज बेल आउट, एंड इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू दिस कॉन्सेप्ट. सो इफ इंडिया हैज नॉट नॉमिनेटेड इट, देन द अल्टरनेट एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर वुड हैव बीन नॉमिनेटेड बाय श्रीलंका. अब ये जो टर्मिनेशन था, सर द टर्मिनेशन ऑफ द के सुब्रमण्यन, it was approved by the appointments committee of the cabinet and it came into effect as per the immediate order on 30th of April 2025. K. Subramanian assumed the role of IMF executive director in November 2022 for a 3 years tenure. So he was supposed to serve till November 2025, लेकिन टर्म खत्म होने से पहले उन्हें हटा दिया गया और उनकी जगह पे नॉमिनेट किया गया है पी अय्यर को. उनकी जगह पे नॉमिनेट किया गया पी अय्यर को. प्रायर टू दिस अपॉइंटमेंट ही वाज द 17th चीफ इकोनॉमिक एडवाइजर ऑफ इंडिया फ्रॉम 2018 to 2021. So he is not a small name. He is what, sir? He is the former chief economic advisor of the country. As I said, the nominee or the executive director will represent 3 nations: India, Bangladesh, and Bhutan. India, Bangladesh and Bhutan. So he represented India, P. Iyer, as well as he will be representing the 3 other nations: India, Bangladesh, Bhutan and Sri Lanka. तो अगर आप नहीं अपॉइंट करते तो फिर जो ऑल्टरनेट मेथड से अपॉइंटमेंट की जाती, दैट वुड हैव बीन डन बाय श्रीलंका, और श्रीलंका वुड हैव अपॉइंटेड देयर ओन एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर हु वुड हैव रिप्रेजेंटेड इंडिया एट IMF. Who would have represented India at IMF. समझ आगे बढ़े. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is, who is leading the Indian delegation at 58th annual meeting of the Board of Governors of the Asian Development Bank in 2025? So Asian Development Bank की जो 58th annual meeting है, who is going to head that meeting? पिछले क्वेश्चन का आंसर देख लेते हैं. So पिछले क्वेश्चन का आंसर है, सर किसे रिप्लेस किया है? सर रिप्लेस किया गया है के सुब्रमण्यम को. किसने रिप्लेस किया? पी अय्यर. हु इज ही? सर ही इज करंटली द एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर एट वर्ल्ड बैंक एज वेल. He is currently the executive director at World Bank as well. Who is leading the Indian delegation at 58th annual meeting of Board of Governors of the Asian Development Bank? Check the news. Union Finance Minister and the Corporate Affairs Minister of India, none other than Shrimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji, will lead the Indian delegation at the 58th annual meeting of the Board of Governors of Asian Development Bank. Question is, where is the headquarter of Asian Development Bank? Sir, it is in Manila, Philippines, but this meeting is not going to happen in the headquarters. So this meeting is going to be conducted in Italy, Milan, Italy, and this meeting has already been conducted from 4th to 7th of May 2025. The event was attended by many of the official delegations, and she is the panelist at ADB Governors Seminar on Cross-Border Collaboration for Future Resilience. Shrimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji will hold, or she has planned to hold it, the meetings with Italy, Japan as well as Bhutan in this particular meet. Now, I have a new question. Due to the current tensions in the country, do India attended 58th annual meet? Say yes or no. You need to again give me the answer in the comment section. So this is your second homework. First is bailout. Second is, due to the current tension in the country, do India attended the ADB 58th annual summit or not, or annual meeting or not? You have to give me the answer with yes or no. So what will be the answer to this question? So the answer is Shrimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji. Is it correct, everyone? Is it clear? Chalo. I open the page to the next news. The next news is very important. What does the next news say? So SEBI has mandated minimum investment threshold of 1 crore rupees for SDIs. So today we have a circular which has been presented by SEBI. As I say, I always cover the circulars for other regulatory or bodies as well, and this circular is more relevant to RBI as well. That is the reason I have included it, and you are going to enjoy this. Before I discuss कि क्या हुआ, कैसे हुआ, क्या है ये मिनिमम इन्वेस्टमेंट थ्रेशोल्ड, सबसे पहला और सबसे बड़ा क्वेश्चन जो हम सबके सामने है What is that question? The question is, sir, what do you understand by the term SDI? Sir, what do you understand by the term SDI? पहले explain करो SDI term, then go ahead. Obviously ना, SDI समझ आएगा तभी तो आगे बढ़ पाएंगे, तभी तो चीजों को समझ पाएंगे. I always do in this manner, you know that. So first of all, I'll try to discuss with you what is the meaning of securitized debt instrument. Before I discuss securitized debt instrument, guys, do you remember the term securitization? Do you remember the term securitization? So what is securitization? So securitization basically means when an asset is converted into financial asset, when an asset is converted into financial asset for the purpose of raising investment. For the purpose of raising investment, we call that process as securitization, and this conversion, this delivery, entire process is done by asset securitization companies. Asset securitization companies. If I take you back to an act that is known as SAARC Act, do you remember, guys? SAARC Act 2002, it stands for Securitization and Reconstruction of Financial Asset and Enforcement of Security Interest. उसमें ये जो टर्म है securitization, ये securitization टर्म क्या कहती है सर? ये securitization टर्म कहती है कि अगर you are a bank and you have given a loan, let's say a bank has given a loan to Infosys. Now, if Infosys loan has been given by bank, this loan is basically bank's asset. What is this? सर हम जानते हैं ना कि बैंक ने जो लोन दिया और फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूट जो लोन देते हैं, that is basically termed as their assets. So if bank has given the loan to Infosys and against that loan, let's say bank has mortgaged a property with the bank, then bank can securitize this mortgage. Bank can do the securitization of this mortgage in order to recover the funds in case Infosys is not paying back the loan. अगर Infosys ने लोन पे करने से मना कर दिया तो बैंक क्या करे? So first, bank has a possibility or bank has a power that bank can sell this asset through auction. Bank can go through auction. अब आपको पता होगा which official website is need to be used by all the financial institutes as per RBI announcements, as per RBI direction. Name that particular website where every company or every financial institute is supposed to register their asset from where its auction will be done. That is known as banknet.com. It stands with BAANKNET, है ना? This is banknet. अब question ये आया, this is in the case of when the loan has been declared as NPA. Similarly, if the loan has been declared as NPA, bank can convert its asset, that means the loan on Infosys, into a marketable security, and bank can sell that marketable financial institutes in the market to recover the funds. Even bank can take the ownership, bank can take the management of Infosys, being the owner or being the shareholder equivalent to the loan value, being the shareholder equivalent to the loan value. ठीक है जी, ये बात हमने पढ़ी है. On the same grounds ARCs come, ARCs also they operate on the same grounds. लेकिन अब कहानी चेंज होगी. How the things are going to be changed? So now the things are going to be changed because here we have debt instrument. Here we have debt instrument. So if someone asks me, so what do you understand by the word debt instrument? So debt instrument means when an individual purchase an instrument and against that instrument the individual will be receiving predefined return. The individual will be receiving predefined return, and this return is predefined because the amount you have invested, it's a debt. Debt means ये उधार है, तो उधार के बदले में आपको क्या मिलेगा? लोन मिलेगा. और at the time of end of the agreement 5 साल 10 साल जितनी देर का भी बॉन्ड है, after the end of the agreement redemption will be done, which means जो कंपनी है they will purchase back their instrument and against that instrument they will pay back your principal amount, they will pay back your face value amount. I hope यहां तक कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, ठीक है. अब कहानी में थोड़ा ट्विस्ट लेके आते हैं. लेट्स चेंज द थिंग्स इन सम न्यू manner. Please pay attention. I'm just removing my image to give you a better picture. Guys, let's suppose we have bank. Bank has given loan to Infosys. We have a bank. Bank has given loan to Madhav. Let's say it is a car loan. Let's say it's a car loan. Or bank has given loan to, let's say, Abhinav. I can see his name in the comment section, and this is a home loan. This is a home loan. ठीक है जी. Now, the loan borrowed by these organizations from the bank. The loan borrowed by these organizations from the bank. This borrowing is done in return of. This borrowing is done in return of certain asset as collateral. This borrowing is done in return of certain assets as collateral. Or maybe if there is no collateral, it will be an unsecured loan. है ना? It will be an unsecured loan. अब हुआ क्या कि सब बैंक ने अपना सारा पैसा दे दिया लोन पे. Now bank is out of liquidity. Bank need funds. A bank is in a search of funds. Bank is looking forward कि अगर मेरे पास कुछ और liquidity हो, if I have some more funds, I can use those funds to run my business in a pretty well manner. So what bank will do? So bank will set up a new organization, and this new organization is termed as special purpose. Is termed as special purpose. Special purpose distinct entity. Special purpose distinct entity. This special purpose distinct entity, what this special purpose distinct entity is going to do? So the special purpose distinct entity will issue the security debt instruments, will issue the security debt instruments against the loan pool, against the loan pool of the bank. तो ये जो बैंक का टोटल लोन पूल था, मान लो बैंक ने टोटल 10,000 करोड़ का लोन दिया है इन्फोसिस, अभिनव और माधव को मिलाकर. Now against this 10,000 crore rupees of loan, bank is having certain assets. Now bank has used those assets as security, and against those assets as security, bank has issued the security debt instrument. Bank has issued the security debt instrument, and public will purchase this security debt instrument against which public will be receiving predefined return, or public will be receiving the return which we can even call it as rate of interest as we receive on loan. अब क्वेश्चन ये है कि सर पब्लिक को क्या बेनिफिट, why public will purchase it? Guys, let's suppose I'm talking about a local money lender. Local money lender का काम है सबको लोन देना, अलग अलग इंडिविजुअल्स को लोन देना. But this local money lender is taking very huge risk. On the other side, there is an individual named A. This individual A is also very keen to give loan to everyone or to give loan here and there, but he is aware of the risk which is associated. We call it as counterparty risk. You can even call it as credit risk. So rather than giving loan openly, which is a risky fare, this individual A can do one thing. What? So individual A can purchase the special or can purchase the securitized debt instrument. Let's say the securitized debt instrument which individual A has purchased, it is of value 100 rupees. It is of value 100 rupees. So in short, I'm saying that on the behalf of bank, the loan which was given to Infosys or Madhav or Abhinav, out of that 10,000 crore rupees of loan, today that loan has been given by A, and against that loan given by A, he has received securitized debt instrument and he will be receiving the rate of interest. अब क्वेश्चन है कि सर बैंक रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट देगा कहां से? सर बैंक को रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट मिलेगा। अब अगर मैं कहूं एज अ वेटेड एवरेज बैंक इज रिसीविंग rate of interest of 9%. Out of 9%, bank promises to pay 8% return, fixed return to the public. So in this manner, bank has made a profit of 1% or bank has earned a spread of 1% and even bank has generated the liquidity from the public with the help of this entity, and this liquidity generated by the bank from the public can be utilized for day-to-day operations which are performed by the bank. Can be utilized for performing the day-to-day operations which are performed by the banks. Is this point clear, guys? समझ आया? Is this pictorial view clear to everyone? Is this pictorial view clear to everyone? Now, sir, these securities can be issued as public issue. If these securities are issued as a public issue, then obviously public issue के केस में कौन involve हो जाएगा? So SEBI will get involved, as well as stock exchanges will get involved. Even you can issue these securitized debt instruments under the private placement. So if you are doing the private placement, then also SEBI will get involved. If you are doing the public issue, then also SEBI will get involved. But in case of private issue, private issue, stock exchanges will also get involved in the game. They will also get involved in the game. बोलो समझ आया? बोलो समझ आया? I'm reading your comments. Give me yes, sir. Is it clear to everyone? Is this point clear to everyone? Are you with me, guys? I hope you all are with me. Is this point clear? Quickly reply with yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, quickly. ठीक है? अब यहाँ पर कुछ conditions भी है और वो conditions किसने दी है? So those conditions are given by SEBI. I'll limelight those conditions as well. I limelight few conditions as well. So these conditions include, SEBI has come up with certain conditions और ये जो SEBI ने अपनी conditions दी है, ये SEBI ने conditions दी है under public offer and listing of securities or securitized debt instruments. These regulations are related to 2008. इसमें क्या क्या पॉइंट सेबी ने दिए वो ध्यान से सुनना। सेबी ने पहला पॉइंट दिया है मैंडेटरी लिस्टिंग, मतलब कि इफ यू आर इशूइंग द सिक्योरिटाइज्ड डेट इंस्ट्रूमेंट इट शुड बी लिस्टेड. लिस्टेड मींस इट विल अलाउ पब्लिक टू ट्रेड इट इन सेकेंडरी मार्केट. तो आप सेकेंडरी मार्केट में स्टॉक एक्सचेंजेस पे इसे क्या कर सकते हैं? सेकेंडरी मार्केट पे स्टॉक एक्सचेंजेस पे इसे क्या कर सकते हैं? ट्रेड कर सकते हैं. सो इट इज अ लिक्विड इंस्ट्रूमेंट फॉर यू. सेकेंड पॉइंट इज सर क्रेडिट रेटिंग ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूट जो कि इशू कर रहा है एसडीआई, दैट शुड बी चेक्ड कि क्या भैया बैंक का क्रेडिट रेटिंग ठीक है, बैंक पे ट्रस्ट किया जाए या नहीं. सेकंड, बैंक कैन लॉन्च वन और मोर schemes, nothing to worry. Fourth and the last point is shall not remain open for more than 30 days. Issue should remain open. Issue का मतलब आपने शेयर SDI इशू किया, that should not be maintained open for more than 30 days. Issue should remain open up to 30 days. ठीक है जी, these are some of the conditions. Now I guess we are in a position to understand this. The data we have. बैंक का रिस्क जीरो कैसे होगा? There are certain agreements which are signed. Na? In those agreements, obviously bank will be issuing the securities, and if I am a purchaser, I will look after the securities very deeply. कि भैया क्या इसके बदले में कोई मॉर्टगेज एसेट है भी या नहीं, कहीं ये अनसिक्योर्ड लोन तो नहीं. If it is an unsecured loan, why should I purchase that security debt instrument? So public will also think twice before purchasing it. Public will also think twice before purchasing it. Is this correct? Is this point correct? Give me yes, sir. Guys, are you getting a detail? I have got a notification that President of US, Mr. Trump has posted on Social that India and Pakistan, they have agreed to full and immediate ceasefire. I don't know कितनी सच्चाई है इस बात में, but let's see. अगर सच हुआ तो अच्छा ही है. Let's see, अगर सच हुआ तो it's better for us. ठीक है जी, चलो. Now let's read the term. अब आसानी से क्लियर हो जाएगा, समझ आ जाएगा, ध्यान दीजिएगा, मजा आएगा. तो क्या कह रहा है ये कहता है कि सर, securitized debt instruments are the financial products developed by pooling together different types of debts like loans, personal loan, car loan, home loan, as well as other receivables, and then selling them as securities to the investor. Then selling them as securities to the investors. This whole process of selling debt to investor is known as what? So this process of selling debt to investor is known as securitization, which enable the originator कौन था? Bank, to convert liquid assets into liquid, offering another source of funding. तो बैंक के पास एक other source of funding आ गई. What bank has done? Bank has converted its loan or its asset into liquidity, और उस liquidity को use करके bank can perform its other operations. Investors who invest in these securitized debt instruments receive returns. They are going to receive returns based on the performance of the underlying debt pool. So they will be receiving the returns on the basis of the underlying debt pool. If it is a mortgage assets, then you will be receiving the return accordingly. If it is a personal loan where risk is high, then obviously the probability of return will also be high. Guys, is this point clear? Last call. If it is clear, give me yes, sir. Please be active on the chat and give me the answer if it is clear till this point, so that now I can discuss the news for which I have discussed the entire Ram Katha. तो राम कथा तो हमने देख ली. Now let's try to find out the news. News क्या कहती है? SEBI has mandated minimum investment threshold of 1 crore rupees. Let's try to identify what is the news. SEBI has mandated that minimum investment threshold or ticket size of 1 crore for the issuance of securitized debt instruments for RBI regulated originators as well as unregulated entities engaged in securitized activities. So what does it say? It says that according to SEBI, if bank or any other financial institute, whether regulated or unregulated, they are planning to issue the securitized debt instrument, then the minimum investment threshold is going to be, or the minimum ticket size is going to be 1 crore rupees. It is now mandatory. Second point, it is now mandatory to have at least 3 years of operating experience for the originator. That means if you are planning to issue SDI, you must have minimum 3 years of experience. SEBI has issued these new rules for securitized debt instruments by amending the issuing and listing of security debt instruments and security receipt rules. These new guidelines are ensuring originators they maintain interest in underlying asset, promote market stability and investor confidence. Now, what are the changes? There are 6 important points related to this. The first point is SEBI has classified and clarified that the originators which are not regulated by RBI, the minimum investment threshold for subsequent transfer will be 1 crore. Minimum will be 1 crore, and even the same is going to be for the organizations which are even regulated by RBI. Earlier, the limit was different, but now it has done to minimum 1 crore. SEBI rule says public offers, if you are issuing these securitized debt instruments or issuing to the public openly, it will remain open for at least 3 days and maximum 10 days subject to the condition that advertisement requirements aligned with SEBI regulations for non-convertible security. मैंने क्या कहा था पहले? The guideline was up to 30 days. But I am giving you the data from 2008 जब इसे issue किया गया था, जब इसे explain किया गया, introduce किया गया. But now as per 2025, minimum 3, maximum 10 days. You can give a issue window of this only, and if anyone is eager to buy it, they have to buy it with the given window only. And obviously, these instruments are going to be in demat form. Obviously, these instruments are going to be in demat form. All SDIs are now required to be issued and transferred only in demat form. This rule is applicable across the board irrespective of the nature of the originator. As per the new rules, originators are now required to hold minimum 10% of the securitized pool or 5% in case of receivables with maturity period up to 2 years. Please pay attention. If you are an originator, means you are a bank, you are required to hold minimum 10% of that securitized pool or 5% in case of receivables जिनकी maturity है up to 2 years. SEBI has further clarified that the loans with maximum tenure of 2 years must be held for at least 3 months before securitization. तो अगर आपका लोन 2 साल का है तो उस 2 साल के लोन के लिए you cannot issue the securitized debt instrument on the very next day. No, you are not allowed. You as a bank will hold that loan for 3 months. After 3 months, you can convert it into securitized debt instrument. This is the condition. While for the loans with the tenure more than 6 months, अगर loan का tenure more than 2 years है, then the minimum holding period is 6 months. This is very important. This is very important. I repeat, if I am a bank, I have given loan for 10 years, I have given loan for 1 year, I will be holding it for at least 3 months, then only I am allowed to convert it into SDI, then only I am allowed to sell it to the public to raise the funds. And in this case, I have to hold it for 6 months, and after 6 months, I will be allowed to issue it to the public in the form of SDI. SEBI has also introduced an optional cleanup call for originator, which allow them to repurchase maximum 10% of the original value of the asset. So if they want, they can even purchase back from the secondary market, and they can purchase back maximum up to 10% of the original value of the asset. These are the 6 points. I repeat these points, guys. Pehla point. First point, what does it say? So first point says, one second. First point says that the minimum ticket size is going to be 1 CR. Minimum ticket size is 1 CR. If you are issuing the SDI, then the issue window will be open for at least 3 days and maximum 10 days. All SDIs, they will be transferring them into demat form only. As per the new rules, originators are now required to hold minimum 10% of the securitized pool or 5% in case of receivables with maturity period up to 2 years. अगर maturity period up to 2 years है, you will be holding 5% of the pool, and if it is more than 2 years, you will be holding 10% of the securitized pool. इसमें ये भी कहा गया कि अगर आपके लोन का tenure 2 साल है, then you have to hold it before converting it into SDI for at least 3 months. If the loan tenure is more than 2 years, then you will be holding it for minimum 6 months. Then you will be holding it for minimum 6 months before issuing the securitized debt instrument. SEBI has also introduced an optional cleanup, and the optional cleanup is you can repurchase the assets. You can repurchase the assets issued, but up to 10% of the maximum, 10% of the original value. 10% of the original value of the asset. समझ आ गया guys? Clear हो गया? I can assure you, अगर I would have not given you this kind of discussion, if I have not given you this static clarity, you would have never been able to understand this particular news. Now this news is very easy to understand. You just have to remember few conditions that are very easy to remember. But if this logic is not clear, then that relationship will not be built. And if there is no relationship between the concept and news, then it is very difficult to memorize it. It's very difficult. रट्टा मारना आसान नहीं है. कितना रट्टा मारोगे, it will be very, very, very difficult. So bank give loan from its own money after 3 months. Yes, that's it. That's it. Fake mail कि आपने लोन दिया बैंक ने, आज आपको फंड्स की जरूरत है. Issue securitized debt instrument to raise the funds and use those funds for more lending. But if the loan tenure is up to 2 years, you have to hold it for 3 months. If the loan tenure is more than 3 years, more than 2 years, you have to hold it for 6 months at least. If the loan, if I talk about the loan, you have to hold minimum 10% of the securitized pool or minimum 5% of the securitized pool depending upon the maturity period. Clear हो गया जी? Conditions clear हो गए? चलो. Moving on to the second news from SEBI. The second news from SEBI is nothing but पढ़ना है, that is it. You just have to read it in one line. SEBI has introduced investor charter for KYC registration agencies. So what is this? SEBI in a circular has issued the exercise of powers under the section to protect the interest in securities and to promote the development and to regulate the security market. The primary objective of developing this new charter is to facilitate investor awareness about various activities where an investor client has to deal with KRAs. KRAs means that is KYC registration agency for availing service request. तो बस इतना ही याद रखना है कि SEBI has issued the new guidelines, that is investor charter for KYC registration agencies, so that public investor is aware about the various activities where an investor or a client has to deal with KRAs. KRAs means KYC registration agencies. KYC means know your customer. तो know your customer registration agencies के साथ आपको कहाँ, कब, कैसे डील करना है, कितना क्या इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर करना है, क्या नहीं करना, that has been given under investor charter. No one is going to ask you the nitty-gritties. You are not going to invest in the security market. You are not going for a test where you will be appointed as a security market regulator player, nothing like that. You are just going for RBI. You must know that there has been a new announcement related to the investor charter for KYC registration agency. अब सेबी पे इतनी बात कर रहे थे तो सेबी की एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट न्यूज जो कि काफी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, एंड दिस न्यूज हैज अ ग्रेट पोटेंशियल that it can be asked in the examination, which I have already discussed with you in the past. SEBI has decided to extend the automated trading window. याद है? The automated trading window closure. PAN कार्ड को फ्रोज करेंगे, फ्रीज कर दिया जाएगा. For whom? Sir, for all the designated persons. Who are the designated persons? Sir, designated persons are the persons who are holding very important positions in the companies, especially in the listed companies I'm talking about. So the implementation of permanent account number based trading freeze mechanism will be carried out, and now not only it will be applied on designated persons. Now in this list of designated persons they have included the close relatives as well. They have included the close relatives as well. The name, the term, what was the term given by SEBI for this? What was the term given by SEBI for this? Do you remember, guys? The term given by SEBI for this was IMR, I guess. IMR. I'm not able to recall that term. Immediate relatives. It was something like that. It was something like that. Anyone can remember that term? Anyone can remember that term? Immediate relatives as per SEBI. So the immediate relatives as per SEBI include the parents, the siblings or child of a person or their spouse. ठीक है जी? तो आपको क्या याद रखना है? That is IMR. IMR stands for what? Sir, IMR stands for immediate relatives, which include parents, siblings, as well as it includes parents, siblings, children, spouse. They all are included under the category of immediate, relatives. तो अगर आप एक designated person है, तो मतलब आप किसी कंपनी के CEO हैं, so there will be few days in the year as decided by the company in which you are appointed as CEO that you as well as your immediate relatives will not be allowed to make transactions in the security market, in the secondary market, because your PAN will be frozen. Phase 1 will commence on 1st of July 2025, will be applicable to top 500 listed companies. Means top 500 listed companies, they have to register themselves, or they have to share the entire details of their designated person, immediate relatives by 1st of July 2025, and rest of the companies will be fulfilling this by 1st of October 2025. लिख लो, याद कर लो, trust कर लो. This question has a great potential that for sure it is going to be asked in your examination. ठीक है जी? Is it done everyone? Is it done? I hope all the questions which we have discussed are clear. मजा आया होगा, चीजें क्लियर हुई होगी, समझ आई होगी. I will be catching you all in the upcoming sessions to go. Don't forget to give me 2 answers which I have given you as a homework. One is, क्या इंडिया के फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर ने अटेंड की है the 58th annual meeting of ADB in Milan, Italy? You have to give me that answer. And second is, you need to give me the answer, what do you understand by the word bailout? पढ़ के आइएगा, गूगल कीजिएगा. I will be discussing this for sure. ठीक है? Thank you so much. Do not forget to hit the like button before leaving. Do share the link of this session with your friends. We'll catch you soon. Bye bye. Take care. Good luck. Stay home. Stay safe. Take care.